You don't get attached fast because you care deeply. You get attached fast because you feel empty quietly. You don't miss the person. You miss what you get to be when they are around. And before you argue with me in your head, just listen. Because this is not about love. This is about dependency that you renamed as love. The moment someone enters your lives and gives you attention, your mood changes, your energy changes, and your day starts revolving around their text, their tone, their timing. This is not connection. This is emotional outsourcing. You have handled the remote control of your feelings to someone you barely know. And now your peace depends upon their availability. Read that again. Your peace depends upon their availability. That's where the problem begins. You think you're getting attached to a person. You are actually getting attached to the way they make you feel about yourself. The validation, the importance, the feeling of being chosen. And because you were not feeling all these feelings on your own, that person starts feeling special very quickly. Not because they are rare, but because your inner state is deprived. You were emotionally underfed long before they arrived. So even crumbs start feeling like a feast. And this is why you confuse the basic decency with emotional compatibility. Someone listens to you once and you feel understood. Someone replies quickly and you feel valued. Someone asks about your day and you feel connected. These are not signs of emotional bonding. These are signs that your emotional standards are very low, and low standards make you attach very fast. Now think very carefully. When do you attach the fastest? It's never when your life is going great. It's when you feel lonely, your routine is messy, your goals are unclear, your work feels meaningless, and your mind feels empty. That's when one person becomes your emotional event. Like a notification in an otherwise silent phone, they become the only thing lighting up your screen. Your day gets divided into before the message, after the message. That's not attachment. That's emotional hunger. And hunger doesn't choose wisely. It chooses quickly. You don't fall for the person. You fall for the relief. Relief from overthinking, relief from boredom, relief from loneliness, relief from feeling invisible. That relief is what you get attached to. And because relief feels good, you start investing emotionally at a speed that the relationship has not earned. You give importance before understanding. You give access before trust. You give emotions before clarity. And then you wonder why you get hurt. You didn't get hurt because they were wrong. You got hurt because you built emotional expectation based on emotional imagination. You moved 10 steps emotionally while the situation was practically on step 1. And this is where your pattern lives. You don't build attachment, you fast forward into it. Because slow attachment requires emotional stability. Fast attachment happens when you're trying to escape yourself. Yes, escape yourself. Because when you're alone, your mind is noisy. Questions you avoid start coming up. What am I doing with my life? Why do I feel so restless? Why do I feel so empty? And the easiest way to silence that noise is to get busy with a person. And now you're thinking about them instead of thinking about yourself. That's why attachment feels comforting. It works like background music that drowns the uncomfortable silence inside you. You think you like them, but what you really like is not having to deal with yourself. And here is something you won't like hearing. You get attached fastest to people who are inconsistent. Those who reply sometimes, disappear sometimes, and show interest sometimes. Because inconsistency turns your mind into a guessing game, and the human brain hates unfinished puzzles, and a brain starts chasing clarity. Maybe they like me, maybe they don't. Maybe if I try more, and this maybe becomes the hook. Consistent people don't excite you because there is nothing to decode, and without decoding, you feel bored. So you mistake emotional instability for chemistry. You mistake anxiety for attraction. You mistake uncertainty for depth. And this is why you keep repeating the same pattern with different people. You're not choosing wrong people. You're choosing from wrong state of mind. Your attachment speed is decided before the person even enters. Now let's make this very clear. If someone's delayed reply can disturb your mood, you are not attached to them. You are emotionally dependent on their response. If their attention decides your self-worth, you are not in love. You are renting confidence from them. If their absence creates panic, you are not emotionally invested. You are emotionally unrealistic. unregulated. And none of this is romantic. It's a sign that you never learned how to sit peacefully with yourself. You cannot tolerate emotional silence, so you rush to fill it with a person. You don't give relationships time to grow. You force them to carry the emotional weight they were never meant to carry. And when they fall under that weight, you call it a heartbreak. But it was emotional overload created by you. Now listen without defending yourself. You don't get attached fast because you love deeply. You get attached fast because you haven't built a life that holds you steadily. So you try to use a person as emotional support. And no human can handle being someone's emotional support system for 24/7. That's unfair. That's exhausting. And that's why people pull away from you. Not because you love too much, but because you depend too much. Now here are some practical truths. First, attachment should be a result of understanding, not attention. Second, if your life has no structure, you will get attached to whosoever gives you emotional stimulation. Third, texting all day is not bonding. It's just dopamine exchange. Fourth, if you feel the urge to invest emotionally very fast, pause. That pause is emotional maturity. Fifth, never trust the intensity of your feelings in the first few weeks. Trust consistency over time. And the most important thing, you believe when the right person comes, you won't attach this fast. That's an illusion. You will repeat the same pattern with the right person too. Because the pattern is inside you, not outside. Until and unless you learn to be emotionally steady alone, you will try to find the steadiness in others. And that always leads to disappointment. When you can spend days without talking to anyone and still feel okay, then is when you're ready for a healthy relationship. When you don't need constant updates to feel secure, then you are ready. When someone's presence adds to your peace instead of becoming the source of it, then you are ready. Until then, you are not attaching, you're clinging. And clinging always pushes people away. Your job is not to control how attached you get. Your job is to build a life where attachment happens slowly and naturally because you already feel whole. Then attachment becomes a choice, not a need. And that is the difference between healthy love and emotional dependency. A person who attaches fast loses themselves in every relationship. A person who attaches slowly keeps themselves as well as the relationship safe. Now the choice is simple. You can continue blaming people for leaving, or you can fix the reason you get attached before they even arrive. Understanding this is easy, but practicing this will be uncomfortable. But this discomfort is what will finally break your pattern. Problem was never who you choose. The problem was the state from which you choose them. Fix that and your entire pattern changes. You don't need to learn how to stop getting attached. You need to learn how to feel complete before anyone arrives. Because when you feel whole, attachment becomes a choice, not a habit. And if you haven't subscribed our channel, please do subscribe. With that, this was a different perspective for the day. See you in the next video.